But what is wrong with thinking that I'm a body? Right? What's wrong with that is this. As you get older, what happens to the body? It changes. One gray hair you see in the mirror, one gray hair in your beard, what happens the next day? Full of grays, you have to shave your beard off. Yeah? Or dye, one of the two. It's a sad reality. And if you identify with the body, what's going to happen? You're going to be full of sorrow. Do you have the same body as you did when you were 2? No. What happened to the 2-year-old body? Let's say you're 25 years old right now. What happened from age 2 to 25? Every 7 years, who here is a biology major? Okay, what happens every 7 years? All of the cells are totally what? Rejuvenated. So it is a totally new what? Body after 7 years. So if you were only the body, guess what will happen to you after 7 years? Khatam ho gaya. You'd have been finished. So what is that component that allows you to witness the change from age 2 to 25? Consciousness. Do you guys understand that? So what is the definition of God according to Sanatana Dharma? Consciousness, existence. How do we get back there? By realizing that we're not the body, mind, and intellect. By climbing this ladder, Manas, Charit, Ram. Okay? What is the benefit of that? We live more effective and efficient lives. Because we're no more burdened by the changes of this world. We become balanced and less frustrated. What are the keys to that? We will see in these 2 sessions. Okay? So in the Ramayana, it's very beautiful. It's all chants. That's all it is. And that's the attractive part of Ramayana. It's chanting, which we all can be a part of. In a couple of ways. First, you have Chaupai. Say that for me. Chaupai are a certain way of chanting, okay? In 4 parts. Doha, say the word Doha. Doha. Doha means 2. So these are lines that are broken up into 2. Say Surta. Surta. These are different ways of meter, a different meter. And then say Chanda. Chanda. Chanda is a different meter. So this Ramayana has 4 meters. Chaupai, Doha, Surta, and Chanda. Okay? What we'll do first, because we have to honor gurus before you can move on anywhere, right? We will chant what is called the Ramayana Sumiran. Write that down. Ramayana Sumiran. Sumiran is a new word that you learned just now. Right now. You're learning it now. Ramayana you learned just now. Sumiran means what? Who can tell me? Smaran means what? Smiran? Simran? Smaran, Sumiran, to remember. So who are we remembering before we start anything? The person who taught you. That is called Kritanyata. Kritanyata means gratitude in Sanskrit. So we chant this Ramayana Sumiran to remember those various manifestations of that one supreme reality, the one existence principle, the one consciousness, one intelligence of the universe. Saraswati, Ganesha, and Lord Shiva and Guru are mentioned in here. Okay? I'll chant it for you, explain to you just one part of it, and we'll move on to the 9-fold system of how to attain permanent happiness in your life. Everybody ready? You can just listen, okay? It's very musical, that's why I like Ramayana. Ram Manas, here we go. This alone will purify your mind too. Jo sumirat siddhi ho, jo sumirat siddhi ho, Gananayak karivar badana, karu द्रवहूं सकल कलिमल दहना नील सुरूर श्याम तरुणा अरुण जनयना करुण सुमन ओरथा सदा क्षीर सागर सयना कुंद इंदु समदेहा उमा रमण करुणायना चाहि दीन करुण कृपा बंदो गुरुपद कंज कृपा सिंधु नररूप हरि महामोहतम पुंज जासु वचन श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय ओम श्री राम जय राम बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. Can you say the word Jai for me, everyone?
Jai.
Jai means victory. Okay? Now, I'm going to share with you a very funny story. So I was at the car dealership the other day, purchasing a car. And he said to me, the car salesman, he said, what religion are you part of? I don't dress like this regularly, for those of you who don't know. But he goes, I can be in shorts, I can be on a cruise, I can be on a t-shirt, but the principle remains the same. Correct? So I was there in my shorts and t-shirt. They won't have known that I was Hindu. I could be anything, right? When I look like that. He said, what religion are you? I didn't say anything. He said, you must be Hindu. I said, are you stereotyping me? And I said, yes, you're right, I'm Hindu. And then he said, you know what? I learned this word, and it was a man from Nigeria. He said, I learned this word about 20 years ago. I said, what word was that? He said, Jaya. I said, okay. Do you know what that word means? He said, I don't know what it means, but I know every time I say that word, something great happens. As a matter of fact, before you came into this room, I said that word. And here you are, a new customer for me. You see that? So, when you say victory to a power that is unseen, what happens? That shows that you've acknowledged that power. Isn't that true? All of us have parents, isn't that right? And when you were little, and you said, I love you, mom or dad, what was their reaction? Were they sad? They were happy, they were ecstatic. Even if you said it backwards, even if you put the U in front of love, even if you spelled love wrong on a card, guess what? If you wrote it in Sanskrit, English, Japanese, Spanish, whatever which way you wrote that down and you presented it to your mother or father, what was the essence behind that offering? It was love. And that is what bhakti is. You see? Simple offerings to God that don't have to be elaborate. And what ultimately are we offering to God? Ourselves. Okay? We're offering our mind. We're offering our body, understanding that it is from existence that all of these came. And it is to existence that it will go. Right? How many of you have ever done a Havan Yajna before? Havan. A fire sacrifice. What is the message of the Havan? After everything is said and done, after the Yajna is over, what happens? What is left? Ashes. That is a reminder that we will not have this human body forever. So therefore, cultivate your mind in such a way that you find your peace now before it is too late. Kal ho na ho. Tomorrow may never come. Therefore, find it today. And you guys are so fortunate. You know why? Because God has put you here. That almighty intelligence that we call God, no matter what you call Him, Jesus, Allah, Krishna, Rama, whatever, that intelligence that you are has brought you here for a particular reason. Why? Because you are adhikari. You are qualified. That is the only explanation. Why is it that other people said, I'm going to come to HSC camp? Okay, other people may have had the idea. But why aren't they here? In this Ramayana we see, Binu satasanga vivekana hoy Rama kripa binu sulabhana soy. Say the word kripa for me.
Kripa.
Kripa means what? Grace or compassion. Without the love or a certain amount of connection that you've made with yourself, you could have not been on the search for something higher. There are many people who are out there in the world who are content. They're content with cars, homes, and people. And you've tried to bring them here. Even an elephant can't drag them here. Okay? An elephant, even if you brought them yourself, they probably wander away into a 7-Eleven or something. There's something wrong with them. No! Even the drunkard, nothing is wrong with him. That's why we shouldn't condemn anyone. We shouldn't judge anyone. Why? Because they are all on different levels of what? Spiritual evolution. But you guys, through something called Purva Janma Samskars, or Punyas, or merits that have come from previous births, you all have what? The urge to do what? To evolve even more in this life itself. That is why you've come. Your soul, right? And what is the definition of soul? Can you remember from last year when I was here? I gave you the definition. Why did Julia Roberts convert to Hinduism? Because Hindus don't convert anyone, and there's no conversion in Hinduism. Because if you're a good Christian, you're a good Hindu. If you're a good Muslim, you're a good Hindu. If you're a good engineer, you're a good Hindu. If you're a good surgeon, you're a good Hindu. Whatever you do perfectly to get you peace in that mind, you are Hindu. Why did Julia Roberts convert? I mentioned this last time. Should I mention it again for you? Is it okay? Can I mention it again? Okay. Just want your permission first. Before you say, man, you came here, you're reading them. Julia Roberts didn't understand what the soul was. All of you can see this body, right? All of you have a body. You can see it in the mirror. Can you see your soul? The soul is made up of 17 things. Okay? It is made up of primarily the mind and intellect, first two. Okay, you can write that down. This is good knowledge for you. And if you want to know where this came from, Tattva Bodha by Adi Shankaracharya. It is listed there. 17 components of the soul. Mind and intellect first. Next 5. Gyan Indriyas, or the senses of perception. Sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. Next 5 are the Karma Indriyas, organs of action. Hands, feet, organs of reproduction, excretion, and speech. Okay? Karma Indriya. So how much do we have? 10. Then we have the 5 vital airs that allow us to do involuntary what functions of the body. What are they? Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. Don't write them down. I'll tell you what they are in English. Just understand, okay? You can write them down if you want, if you can catch it that fast. Okay? Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. Prana means respiration. Okay? Circulation of blood, assimilation of food, excretion, and reverse actions. These are all involuntary what? Actions of the physical human body. Do you think, oh my Lord, I have to pump this blood this direction? Do you wake up in the morning and say, oh, let me put my heart on? Start. No. We don't think of any of that. And that itself is the grace of God. The soul is those 15 things, the 5 jnanindriyas, 5 karmendriyas, and the 5 pranas. In English, 5 senses, 5 organs of action, and 5, tell me, vital airs, or physiological functions of the body. Excretion and so on. Breath and so on. Respiration. What allows all of them to happen? The presence of a mind and intellect. When the mind and intellect packs up all of these things and moves on from this body, that body is considered to be clinically dead. So what does someone say? I need to charge my soul. I had enough of this, this work environment. I'm stressed out. How does one charge the soul? Tell me, how does one charge the mind and intellect? By learning about something that will benefit them. Isn't that true? Learning a chant. Yesterday, Shanti and the rest of the team, they chanted the Shiva Mahimna Stotram, right? Right? Isn't that what it is? And you have to really put your mind and learn that. That's where intellect comes from. And then what do you feel in your mind as a result of chanting? How do you feel today? You feel that? Peace. Didn't you feel that peace just now when we were saying? Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya. How did you feel? And that was just 2 seconds of chanting. Did you feel energized? That is the goal of spirituality. Energize your mind and intellect in such a way that all of the physiological functions, the senses, and all organs begin to do what as a result of the peace that you found in your mind. Tell me, they work efficiently. That is the word. Chanting allows the body to be at ease. If we don't find peace in our mind first, what do we live in? Tell me. Opposite of ease is? Huh?
Disease.
Disease. Disease क्या मतलब है? Disease, which means rog, which means sickness. Do you see the connection? Why you came here? Number one, it's not your fault that you came. It's not by your individual actions, so get that out of your mind now. It's by a higher power that propelled you to come here. Because you're ready. And because you want to feel what within your heart. That many people, 95% of the population in the world, are not feeling. What do you want to feel? Peace. Bandha Guru Pada Kanja Kripa Sindhu Nar Rupa Hari. मैं उन गुरु महाराज के चरण कमल की वंदना करता हूँ जो कृपा के समुद्र और नर रूप में श्री हरि ही है और जिनके वचन महामोह रूपी घने अंधकार के नाश करने के लिए सूर्य किरणों के समूह है. What does that mean in plain English? Bandho Guru Pada Kanj, I first bow to the feet of my gurus. You know who the first gurus are in your life? Mommy and dad. Mom and dad. And then we meet who later on? Our teachers. And then we meet one day, if we're very lucky, a spiritual master. Like Swami Muktananda Ji, like Swami Nityananda Ji, Swami Chinmayananda Ji. These are masters of spirituality. They need not say anything, just being in their presence can transform you. Because what do you see? Peace. Isn't that true? Have you ever been around someone who's peaceful? Right? Not to toot my own horn, but when I was in accounting, okay, I worked as an accountant in Manhattan for about 3-4 years before I went to India in 2011. Right? And at month end, what is month end for an accountant? It is a disaster. You see people that are just going helter-skelter. Some people didn't even shower. They come to work. They stay there. They should build a shower for them, as a matter of fact, in my office. They really care about them. That's a different story. They were disheveled individuals. But I went into that office with the feeling of detachment. Not that I didn't care about the work. I detached from the outcomes of that work. If I did my best, what will automatically come? Tell me. My best. But where does it all stem from? The bottom rung of the ladder, which is the mind. If you're peaceful in the mind, all of your undertakings are guaranteed 95% of the time. And even if it didn't work out, it's guaranteed to bring you what in your mind? Peace. So me sitting there, and I'm telling you this, it's a true story, okay? I used to be a part of a team of eight accountants, okay? And when I sat there, just peacefully doing my work, having this, what is called Ishwar Arpana Buddhi, surrendering it all to God, doing my best, guess what happened? They automatically started to feel at peace. Have you ever met someone that's very agitated? Always agitated, but this has to be done. But then when one person comes into that person's presence that is peaceful, what automatically happens to person A, who is very agitated? Person B is Shantaras, he is the ocean of compassion, ocean of peace. What automatically happens to that first individual? He calms down. This is the glories of our great masters, not Kunj. Kunj also, he's a great master also, but Swami Muktanandaji, Nityanandaji, Chinmayanandaji, who you call realized masters. What does it mean to be realized? They realized Ram in their hearts. Therefore, they're at peace with themselves. Okay? Bandhava Guru Pada Kanch. And why do we bow to the feet? Tell me. This is a very important point. Why do we bow? Why can't we just stand up and say, or why can't we just say, Yo, Swami? Why do we bow?
Show humility.
Humility, number one. But what do the feet do for the anatomy of the human body?
Support. They take the load of the entire body.
Exactly. And they allow this body to move. Isn't that true? Who supports us in our life spiritually? Mother, father, and Guru. Taittiriya Upanishad says what? Matri Deo Bhava, Pitri Deo Bhava, Acharya Deo Bhava, which is Guru. Okay? Acharya means teacher. I'm called Acharya Arun Gossai because I was given that title. Okay? I'm a scoundrel, but I'm not. So I'll tell you right off the bat, don't let this appearance fool you. I have a lot of work to do in my life. Okay? But through great masters like that Guru, we aim to be something higher. Understand everyone? Good. So Bandhava Guru Pad, I bow to that feet because you, O Guru, are the support of my life as I aim to transform. Kripa Sindhu Nararupa Hari. And how is this Guru? He is God, that existence principle in the form of Nara. Say that for me. Nara. Nara means man. Say Nar Hari. Man God. So they are like gods walking around as mortals. Okay? Maha Moha Tamapunja. Say the word Moha for me. Moha means delusion. And what is the definition of delusion? One who is not in touch with reality. So if we continue to think that the world outside will bring us happiness, permanent happiness. I'm not saying the world is a beautiful place. Enjoy it. Scriptures say nothing about not enjoying the world. But how should we do it? In moderation, number one. And understand that that will never bring us what? Permanent happiness. Do you guys want a temporary happiness after bachelor's degree or master's or PhD? Who wants a temporary job? Anybody? What are we aiming to get? What are we aiming to get after graduation? Permanent jobs. Permanent relationships. Permanent this, permanent that. No one wants it to do what? End. But everything on the outside, is it permanent? No. The only thing that is permanent is what? When I do this, what does that mean? Existence. So when you connect to that permanence, that is existence. Even if you live in that world, or even if you have or don't have what the world presents you, you are happy. That is the definition of Vairagya. Vairag means virag. Rag means likes and also dislikes. A person who lives in the world and is not affected by change and likes and dislikes is a Vairagi, which means a person who is okay if he has objects or doesn't have objects. He is balanced. And that is a peaceful person. So we covered what? Bhakti and Vairagya. See this word Gyan? Maha Moha Tamapunja. Say that word Moha for me again. Moha means what? Delusion. What are we deluded or pre-programmed to think from birth and in other births as well, leading up to this one? That happiness is on the outside. If I get that person in my life, I'm going to be so happy. If I get that thing in my life, I'm going to be so happy. If I go to the HSC camp, I'm going to be so happy. But what happens to all of these, tell me? We leave voluntarily, sometimes, also involuntarily. Isn't that true? Nothing lasts forever. Even diamonds don't last forever. Mahamohatamapunja. So what does the Guru do? He removes this from our lives. This erroneous thought that that world and this body and everything will be there forever, giving me permanent happiness in this realm. Okay, I have to know myself to be something higher than that. That is what you call what? Knowledge or jnana. Understanding that you're much more than this body, number one, that you are existence and consciousness, okay, existing in this body, and the world will never bring you the permanent happiness that you are looking for. You should enjoy the world again, but you shouldn't let the world consume you. Okay? Jasu bachana ravi kara nikara. The word ravi. Ravi? What does the word ravi mean? Sun. Brilliant light. Jasu bachana ravi kara nikara. What are the Guru's words like? 95% of the world is living in darkness, not because they don't have an iPhone and LED lights. Why are they in darkness? Because their mind is dark. When the mind is dark, plagued with agitations and sorrow, that individual will never be efficient. But through the Guru's words, we learn the reality of the world. Okay, you all understand what I'm doing? We learn the reality of that world. It will never bring us peace. And we learn the reality of our individual worlds, which is consciousness. And when one can sink himself, like clicking on the app, put himself in that consciousness, one can't help but be his happiest. Okay, so to that Guru, we salute again and again. Okay, it is 10:26. What do you want to do?
A couple of questions, maybe?
Questions?
4 or 5 minutes, so maybe a few questions.
Sure, you can do that. And then in the afternoon, I will start the Navvidha Bhakti. Is that okay? The ninefold way of getting this. So I gave you guys a lot of information, okay? So how to attain that happiness that you are, how to find it, how to be one with it, we will see in the afternoon session. Any questions, guys? You can ask anything.
So is there, I'm familiar with a little bit of this topic in terms of existence and consciousness, as related to quantum theory. So I don't know if you're familiar with quantum theory and what they're discovering, the kind of research that they're doing.
Quantum physics you're talking
Yes,
about?
yeah.
Which, it's fully well connected.
Yeah, where the intention or one's viewing of something changes the position or the outcome or these kinds of very
Of course.
things. So maybe we can talk about
and that's what you call, and that's a very, very interesting subject.
Yeah.
So quantum physics basically says, okay, in a nutshell, that this entire universe has intelligence behind it. But they won't go as far as to say what? G-O-D. They won't go as far as to say that. There's intelligence that allows the gravity to be a certain pull. Has it ever changed? No. That allows the planets not to crash into each other. That allows for everything to happen. That is called intelligence in their world. In our world, it's called Chid, or the intelligence of the universe. That's God also. Now, the second part to your question, that question was, remind me again what you said after that?
How intention or
right.
conscious.
So this is what you call drishti srishtivad in Vedanta. So my world that I see on the outside, and you're talking about changing certain outcomes, changing certain things even, with the power of the mind. So these realized masters, they've tuned into that consciousness so much, okay, that they even can change outcomes in everyday life. But some of them choose not to do so. They allow it to naturally happen. But if they were to do that, and we all have that power to change outcomes if we choose to do so. Drishti means what? Our individual perception and our feelings, our vision about this world. Shrishti means creation. Isn't that true? If I ask you to point to the direction that I am, where are you going to point? Let's do it. Point. This way, right? What if I said I'm not here? What would you say? Like, this guy is a loony. The reality of it is that I'm not here. Where am I? Very good, Yogi. Good student. I am in your mind. I am just a thought. Isn't that true? What is allowing you to have the thought, which is this human body that you're seeing right now, sitting in front of you talking? What is allowing you to do that? The senses, very good, Niteshwari. The senses are allowing you. And where are the senses projecting my image? In your mind. So if I come over there and pinch Yogi, did an external thing pinch him? Or did something in his mind pinch him? Something in his mind. Some people don't even need to smell pizza. See pizza physically. The mere smell of it does what? It presents that image in their mind. And that is meditation. So if I see this world in my mind in a different light, whether it be good or bad, I have the power to change the outcome. Or change even that object. Drishti, my vision, creates the world that I am perceiving. Did that answer your question? Okay. So that's it. I mean, it's all Vedanta. If you look at it, the whole world exists within you. And it's just consciousness playing itself. Playing all around. Just there. Playing out. That's it. Okay. Anybody else? Yes?
So, most of the time, if I want to read the Ramayana, I end up with some relatively children's-ish version, or even an adult version, but I'm just reading the story, right? So, do you have recommendations on where any of this can start if you want to do something
Some study
more
of it?
with it? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's something called, there's many Ramayans out there. There's Adhyatma Ramayana, there's Tulsi Ramayana, there's Valmiki Ramayana. If you're bhakti oriented, I recommend Tulsi Ramayana. It covers the entire Ramayana in a very abbreviated form, in simple everyday language. And the principles jump out at you even more than Valmiki Ramayana. Valmiki Ramayana is more of a detailed account of what happened throughout the entire life of Rama. It is Rama's life from A to Z. But Tulsi Ramayana gives you the essence of what Ram's life was and the impact that he made not only on himself, but on everyone's world that he came across. So if I had to recommend, I would say start with Tulsi Ramayana. Even Valmiki Ramayana you can go into, because it's good to see the actual, like the meeting of Hanumanji, as Nikunj said yesterday. It goes so detailed in Valmiki Ramayana. Whereas Tulsi Ramayana is very sankshipt or short, okay? But it gives you the essence. So read this first, understand it, and then go into Valmiki and even Adhyatma, okay? Which tells you that Ram is none other than consciousness.
Who wrote that?